Boom! Woo! Holy moly macaroni. It is March 1st. We're here with another fine edition of Tuesday with Todd. I'm your host, Todd. We do this every Tuesday. Depends on the topic. Sometimes we'll make stuff. Sometimes we'll talk. Sometimes we'll talk equipment. I think we kind of talk really, really good. Remember, first time here, make sure that you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do that, share away. We are exclusively on YouTube right now, so Facebook isn't playing the nicest with me. So if you would be so kind to go share this in a group of yours, magic things will happen, I promise. Yeah, eventually magic things will happen. Today's topic is we're going to talk about our new TitanJet DTF Printer. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear it in the background running? Let me know. So I think without further ado, we'll jump right into the intro. And while that intro is playing, you know what you should do? Go ahead in the comments while that's rolling. You let me know where you're from. How's the weather in your area today? And we're back. Woo! I need a little like fade out for that, so I know when it's coming back, don't I? All right. So can you hear this? Hear this in the background. Renee, I'm not sure I even know Paxi key. I'm not even sure I know what that is. I know I can't say it, so I definitely need to know what that is. Man, we have been rocking it and rolling here today. One of the things, I'm gonna see if we can do this real quick. If I can get this into here, because if we can, I can get that here, and I can. Ooh, look, there it is over there, just printing away. Can you hear that? You gotta let me know if you can hear that over there. We're just printing out some transfers away over there, and that's what we're gonna talk a little bit about that bad boy today. I don't see how else can I go with that. Can I? Oh yeah, I can make it small like that, so it can still be popping down there in the corner. And then I think in the background we can change all that up and go from there. But you can't hear it. You're in the car. Awesome. Well, that's good to know. All right. Darren, as always, what's going on, my friend? How are you today? Hopefully everything's going well for you. What's up, Chuck? You know, Aaron's in the car. It is Tuesday with Todd time. Matt's telling us that it is stupid last week. Today's 60. Mother Nature is toying with us. I believe it's in the 60s here. It's gorgeous from the looks of it. I see sun. I do see sun, so I know it has to be at least sunny outside. So we've got that. And like I said, Renee, I'm not real sure what that is. Aaron, can't hear, but you're in the car. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know you're in the car. What do you got going on today? What are you doing there? I guess I could probably, let's see if I can do this. If we can pop, we're going to see if I can get all this stuff to pop and go. And we're going to see if it works. All right. So remember, like I said, today we're going to talk DTF. We're going to talk why today was such a fun and magical day. If you didn't know, we got our DTF printer going last week. I guess we can say that. Yeah, it's not letting me share to the business page. The business success Facebook group if you would be so kind and anybody can go share a link there, that would be swell. But it's not letting me. So we've got that rocking and rolling over there. And we're going to run through everything, the experience to now, 1 weekend, the buying it, the delivery, the setup, and now, where we are today on it. Like I said, that little dude is just trucking along over there. Just whoop. And let's see, Corey's not paying attention because I told her, hey, go hit the play button. Yeah, I'm watching. I can see right here that it's. I know. That's why I said you got to watch on it. I said, you need your help today. I need your help just for a little while Tuesday with Todd while that's going. I just need you to hit some buttons, make it rocking and rolling, and then just hit it from there. So, just do that. Now, if you can, hey, before you press too far, pull that sheet towards the front of there. Kind of slide it, I don't know if you go towards the printer. You can see where it's hanging off the back of that shelf. Go to the printer. Go to the printer. Go to the printer. What are you doing? I know. I want you to move this so I can see. This right here needs to get pulled so it's right here. So that part comes up. Oh, my God. This here needs to get pulled here. Just push it against here. I don't. Just lift it up and kind of put it on there. Lives, my friend, lives. In my head, it makes sense. And I don't think I am particularly great at telling other communication. My communication skills aren't the greatest right now. There we go. There you go. Good job. Good job. Thank you. What do I? Okay. I should say it like how? Yes, exactly like that. You should say Pounchki, which is how the word is pronounced. Poland. Pounchki, right? Is that right? Pounchki? Am I close to that? What is it? Tell me what it is. Oh, similar to donuts. Some makers say you may want to avoid calling them with that. Oh, good to know. Deep breath, right? We're all there. We're all there, sir. We're all there. 2 weeks in a row catching live. Valerie must be in the office, busting her butt there. There we go. Pay attention, Corey. Facebook user FU. I don't know who you are, Facebook user. That's not FU as in FU. That's FU as in Facebook user. I don't know who you are. The way that can stop is we can do a couple things. You can head over to oursuccess.group/Facebook, give StreamYard permission. It'll let us know who you are, and we'll be able to see it. Or you can head over to fatdadlive.com or liveosg.com. So we're going to talk about this guy today. We've got some other news and notes that we got going on to it. Today is March 1st. As of right now, baseball could be getting canceled. Or at least losing a couple games. I haven't seen anything. If you missed our morning chats yesterday morning, you should really tune in for those. It's been a great conversation we've had with people. Let's see what we got going on here. Where was I? Oh, look at that 77 in Topeka. Ooh, God, that's got to feel nice. The worst part about this is when it was freezing last week and then now being, warm. So it's just a muddy mess out there. And our Reggie dog is a dirty dog, like jerk dog. Like he just wants to go trucking through the mud, through the water. Like kid, the best way I could describe it is kid on a slip and slide. That's him in the water. It's just ridiculous. Jose, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Don, hello to you as well. 80 in Vegas. Ooh, you needed this. And there is nothing better than a little warmth. Warmth and sun make everything so much better. I think that's why people are happier in warmer climates. Wouldn't you agree? We got that one. Catching the other. Big boy is going. Yes, there it is. So 24-inch wide printer. We are only doing 12-inch roll film, and that's because, or we'll go to 13-inch film, but I got the 24-inch rolls, cut them in half, so we have 12-inch runs because we got the small dryer. So we're going to talk about why we went that way with it. Because of doorways. They exist. They're made with rich flour plus some alcohol, typically filled with jams, chocolates, or fruit before topped with sugar or icing. I love whiny kids. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Like barking dogs, like high. Oh, something's going on over there because it's not making that noise. So that needs pushed down. It's pulling up something. That's where I need you at. I know that's where. What's going on? You need to push down there. You're gonna watch this. I'm gonna lead over this, and then I'm going to. I'm actually gonna. Yeah, you come over here and talk to them because she hasn't quite understood the concept of what needs to happen yet. Tell them how you're critical.
I always mess up. or get blamed for it. Sorry. I don't know how to make this shit go up. Oh, I don't know that. I didn't do it. Sorry, guys. I haven't been taught how to use this thing yet. I don't know where he sees comments. Oh, there we go. We'll keep you entertained. So I just got back from California. I was out with Crystal Ninja, Kelly, and we did a whole bunch of rhinestoning of decals to her outside of her office. That's the whiny one. I see you. Pilar was out there with me, and she made templates for the rhinestones for the decals that Todd and Renee cut last month. And we are getting her building all blingy. It's so awesome. Okay, he's back. We're out.
So that's the joys of live, because she doesn't know what to do over there. I mean, that was a hard concept to move the film. But as you can see, it totally left residue on that stuff because it started sticking on there. It's just not pulling it through fast enough. And that's because the printer is printing faster than it can feed through there. So what I needed to do now is just slow up a second. So in fact, I should have hit it. If you go over there and just hit pause where the play button was, next to it looks like a pause button.
I looked for pause.
I can hear it in there. I can hear the change in it. This is so stressful to me, guys. I am telling you, I'm telling you, if you haven't had a machine and you haven't tried to help somebody learn it and you think that they should know what you should know, and you should just be able to look at this and figure out why it's making that noise. Because when you get new machines, you understand how the noise should work. If you have an embroidery machine, you can tell when something's off, right? If you have a laser, can you tell when that's off too? You can tell, ooh, I'm like glitching really, really bad, aren't I? This is just not a good show. It's not a good show here. I'm sorry. I'm just killing it. You change your tone. That is no way to communicate on your anniversary. Well, Valerie, guess what?
I think it needs more powder.
Guess what? Today is not our anniversary, and it wasn't yesterday either. This is the best thing about getting married on Leap Day, is that there is no anniversary except for every 4 years.
Can you pause the shaker?
Corey's going to turn on. She's going to come over here and because apparently she doesn't understand this concept, I'm going to go add more powder to that. I'm going to
I added more, but that was all that was in that bottle.
I'm going to go take care of this. So you're going to be here with her for a second because, hey, apparently.
We're back. See, we just yelled at. Why? I don't know. I haven't been taught. We'll just take it and with it. No, I didn't know where I used the rest of the powder that I saw him put in the jug earlier and dump it in there. I did the same thing, and there wasn't enough, and I didn't know where the rest of it was at. So we tried. Sorry, you guys get me all crazy, like no makeup, hair not done. Was not planning on being alive. This one needs attention. Missed me for a few days. See, look, Valerie's on my side. She said, "That's no way to talk to that woman on your anniversary." All right, how about watch out? Dance back.
It's stressful. Stressful, right? We've all been there. Like little stuff you think that somebody else should know because you haven't explained it to them and explained the process. It's totally my fault. 100% my fault because I haven't showed her everything that needs to be done with it, how it goes through. Because we even experienced some issues today. So we'll talk about all that. Yeah. Deep breath, right? Good to see me doing a review. Hey, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. She is a saint, right? She is. Oh, look. Hunchkey. Got it. First week is canceled. Oh, did I cancel it? Yeah. Losing money. Patty, Central Washington. Awesome. Jerry went to live OSG. Good. Patrick, hey, how's it going, sir? Patrick, in fact, hold on, Patrick. As a matter of fact, Patrick. Those look familiar, sir? Ooh. So those are going. We're getting stuff printed and shipped. Everything's going to be shipping tomorrow. with a mastiff, like a small muddy horse. Yes, they're horrible. Like there is no reason to own dogs in the Midwest. Corey, if you're down here, she is not down here. She left me, and that thing is going to start pulling the film from there. So now I got to go hit that because she decided to leave. She didn't understand it. She did not understand the assignment of what she needed to do. This is pulling film here. Right. She went upstairs because that's what she was trying to do. But yes, like you can't keep anything clean. Like the floors are a mess. Everything's there. We're trying to keep them crowded there, and it looks like we now have a brown floor. I mean, we probably look like total trash because it's just mud everywhere. It's horrible. Try to clean them in the garage before they come in. It's just bad. It's just bad. Hopefully, battery lasts for the review. Me too. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I promise. I promise it. Look, everybody's saying hi to Corey. The bottom bunched up. Yep. And that's what happens when your speed isn't all there. All right. So Corey was asking questions. Lewis says hello. Are you getting the shaker? We will discuss that. I bet. Yes. Be patient. Coming through glitch free. Now I need to go. Oh, what's it doing? Now it's picking back up. It's great to see you right there. Eric, good to see you. Where else can there? Full color window decal. Us, we take care of that too. All of your print needs, we can help you on that. Beck, good to see you. Jennifer, I wonder when you did go live about this. Well, now we're going live. George, good to see you as well. Okay, so here's the thing. We bought this at Impressions Expo out in Long Beach. The reason that I went with this, I was originally going to go the 13-inch ones. 13-inch ones were like 90 to 120 days out. My original plan was to go 2 of them. Hopefully, Corey is nowhere to be found again, and I need to go hit play again. This is gonna get real because she is not understanding the assignment of what she needs to do. God, don't worry about it. So when I say, "Hey, I need you during this time. Can you help me with that?" And she says, "Yes." Do you know where that goes? Just did not work out. Because now that stuff needs pushed down there again because it's there. Just go pause it and turn it all off. Just go pause it and turn it all off because I can't do two things. I can't do 2 things at once. I just can't. Okay. So we ordered this up in Long Beach. The reason we went with the 24-inch over the 13. 13s were 120 days out. My plan was to go with 2 13s. That way, if one went down, we still hit the other one. Makes sense. The other thing too, turn off everything on the right-hand side on the orange switches. Orange. Turn them off. It doesn't. Orange or red. Are we going to play this game? There's only one color over there. It's not like there's orange, red, green, and purple. Just turn it off. Unplug, and then that front one has a plug on it. Turn it off on the front. Dude, this has been my day, and we're going to talk about how we got to this point. I promise you. So we ordered this up. And the main reason was if one went down, I'd have another one. So we went with the 24-inch one because it was in stock. Okay, that means we were able to order it. We were gonna. We purchased on that Saturday. They were going to ship it on the Monday. Looking at everything, we should have had it by that following Friday. Cool. The other thing too was I wanted the 13-inch ones because they have the smaller footprint, smaller dryer that'll fit through a door because they're only 13 inches wide, so it's like 24 inches on the dryer, so it'll fit. Bonus right there. I know in the future that we wanted to go with the big dryer, so that way we could run the 24-inch film, but we can't go with that one because it is 40 inches wide. The smallest one is 40 inches wide, which means it is not fitting through a standard door. You think about that. That's 40 inches there. So you want to be able to hold that. So you need 44, 46 inches. So you need some big space for that to go through in order for it to fit in. So we said, okay, let's go with this because we already have a 13-inch dryer for our other one. So we knew pretty much the ins and outs of it made sense. So let's go ahead and keep this one. And let's do it this way. So that way, when we do the remodel and this one ends up in the new shop, then we'll just get the 40-inch at that time and it'll fit in there. And then we'll have a 13-inch one. So if we get the 13-inch machine, So that was the main reason that we went with the 24-inch one over that one. Now, here's where the fun begins. So we went ahead and placed the order for it. They contacted us on that Monday, sent us pictures of everything wrapped up, shipped out, and sent us the tracking number. Everything was shipped out on Monday. Said we were going to get it on Friday. That would have been Friday the 4th. I'm going to just double check the calendar here real quick, because I believe it was, it was Friday the 4th is when it said it was going to be delivered. So we're like, sweet, we're gonna be rocking and rolling here, right? It did not get here till the 18th. It sat in Nashville for a week and it sat in St. Louis for a week before it got here. So I was, and there's nothing that the supplier did. I don't know who we purchased from. DTF2U. Link is in the description, so you can check on them. You can check out everything that they have there. Now, you need to do a request info form because currently they're not letting anybody order online because they're making sure they're taking care of their current customers, the current equipment that's there before they start bringing in new ones. So they're kind of pretty much starting the wait list for it, which I think is great because that way they're saying, hey, they're not like some places that are selling it as a pre-sale and then, hey, you just wait. I ran through that before when I was waiting on something from August till now, and it sucked. So this is pretty good. I like that, not being able to buy that because, hey, doing everything through email for now. So you can go to their site. Like I said, that is in the description. It's DTF2, the number 2U.com. Talk to Matt over there. Tell him I sent you, and that way we'll be able to rock and roll with it. Now, so that was the first part. It took a little 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 3 weeks for us to get here, so that was great. Then there was some setup with it. Now, the setup on it, when you purchase these, please have some kind of tech savvy. Some kind of, you're fine doing some mechanical, you're fine doing some adjustments. If you're not, you're definitely going to want the on-site training. From what I understand, that on-site training is taking a little longer because they're scheduling it up. They're flying into you. They're doing that. I built on our old DTF printers. I took down the frame, built it. I don't have a problem with that stuff. So I felt very comfortable doing everything over the phone. So we did a TeamViewer, and we did it on the phone, and it worked out great. They actually installed the heads and everything for us pre-shipment. So when we got it, all we really had to do was connect up some software. Now, these machines are 220. The printer is 220, and the dryer is 220. On this printer, it's the TitanJet. There's actually power supplies that are in the inside that you can switch to 110. So you can go inside, take 2 little switches, and guess what? Now it becomes 110. So that was pretty cool. So now we only need a new 220 outlet. But by the magic of technology, we actually had the inverter converter. Somebody techie will be able to tell me which one it is. I know it would be the step-up transformer. That's what we used when we were in the medical field. But we were able to take that 220 and run it through that converter and able to use 110. So not have to run any 220 power. We're able to use the 110 for it. So that's pretty legit right there. No new power was need to be ran for it. It had to have let me get my train of thought back. When that came here, that was one of the things. I was like, how long is the cord? How much area? Because we didn't know what area is this going to fit in. How are we going to run it? Where is it going to sit at? Where is it going to work? So if we have to run electrical, which we were looking at, okay, if we got to run electrical, what are we going to do? Well, then there's the switches where you can change it to that, and now, standard outlet. So we have these both on the outlet. Everything's working fine. I was waiting to see if maybe it tripped or if it was going to do anything like that, but it did not. So we don't have to worry about that. We've run it now for a week, and it has not tripped anything. So sounds good, right? So far, so good. So we were able to switch that up. Then we got on with tech support. Jay over there, Jay Wilson, has been amazing for us to work with, answer our questions, walked us through everything. We had to do an ink charge on it. We did have to hook up some syringes, pull some ink through some lines. There is some setup and assembly with this. The other thing is getting this. There is Zippo for instructions on building this. So, it's a stand. They built a stand before, so it's not a difficult thing to build. But there are some pieces that kind of make you scratch your head and be like, should this be on the front or the back? The great thing is a lot of stuff can only go one way. It's just a matter of finding out which way that it goes. So we had the stand built less than an hour, and it's heavy duty for this build stand. The package when it was delivered was it gave me a crate. When they delivered it all, it came on a semi. They were supposed to bring a liftgate truck. They did not do that. They had a lift semi. The guy had to wheel it down the street a block to be able to get it to us. So that way we were able to get it over to us. We were able to get that set up. Took two of us to bring in the house. And it's a hefty guy. There's no real good hold thing on it, so the easier that you can do with that, the better. But we were able to get it in here, got it down to the basement. We were able to set up the dryer. Super simple. It's a little bulky, awkward, so two people can get in, but doesn't weigh a whole lot there. So we get the equipment set up. We're on the tech support. They walked us through everything we needed to do there as far as an ink charge, pulling stuff through, and then there was just some fine-tuning testing. I got to think this thing has been shipped, from Florida to us. It came from China to Florida, Florida to us, and Florida they installed the heads, set everything there. There's going to be some fine-tune adjustments that need to happen. Now, we got through that pretty sweet. Everything was up printing well. So the first part we did was get everything printing on that. Hey, let's make sure we're good to go with that, because previously, on our other ones, we could also manually powder and manually cure. So I wanted to get the print part done so I could take care of the dryer. So print got that rocking and rolling. What did it come with? Let me see. Any questions so far up to this point? Because so far we've had a great experience. There was a shipping snafu, stuck in shipping, so that was not the company's fault. The company answered all the questions that we had. Answered all the questions we had. Tech support has been great up until this point. Like something bad's going to happen. Nothing bad is going to happen. So we'll talk more. That is hot. Right. Thanks, Beth. Thanks. Laughing here on this side. I'm glad. Can you talk about it so I can order? What do you want to order? You want to order the printer? We can definitely help you with that. George, thank you for the happy anniversary. So hard to work with your husband. I work with my sin and my husband. Sin. I don't know what the sin is. What is a sin? Sin. Sis. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good. I know I'm hard to work with, and I can't be hard to work with, and I expect her to be able to read my mind. So we've been together long enough, she should, but I do not communicate well, especially when I'm under pressure and stress, especially when other things decide that they need attention right now, and just the dogs barking, my kids whining, those things like a knife. That was one of the greatest things that I miss about being in the storefront, was not having those distractions for it. But there it is with it. So that is our 24-inch wide DTF printer. Breathe in, breathe out. I know. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a drink of water. All right. How tall is it, Dean? Dean, the smallest size is 40 inches. That's the thing. Because it's 44. I'm going to see if I have it real quick. It was 44 by. I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick on their website and see if it'll give me, because I've got a back way in their website, so that way I can order things. Because they are letting, they sell supplies and that too, and then we're able to get in that way for it and see everything there. So I'm just going to look and see if it by chance still has what the dimensions are on that one, because they said 40 was on the small side. Lengthwise, so let's see if we go with Mach. Let's see. There's that one. It's going to be this one on the dryer. Did it give me a dryer solution? It did not give me a dryer solution on it. Printer with stand. Okay, printer. Nope, that's just the printer. The printer itself. This printer with stand, 47 inches by 23 inches by 46 inches. So, dude, it's beastly. It's beastly. All right. It is not a fun little thing. Let's see if I can find it in the email just real quick. Talk amongst yourself. How's your day going today? Has anybody had to make anybody cry today? I haven't yet, I don't think, but there's a good chance that I did pretty good about things, and I don't think hey, maybe I did make some people cry, but I didn't try. I tried not to. 24. Let's see. Sizing. I don't have it in here. Anyway, it was pretty damn wide. Like 40 was the smallest. Smallest industrial shaker is 46 by 35 by 38 and a half. So that's the smallest industrial shaker. That's 46 by 35 by 38. So, I mean, still, it's still pretty wide in there, right? So that's that one. It's just they're just crazy like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Tearing them apart is much easier than putting them back together, probably 100%. I should get a doorbell. No, dude, I'm working. We didn't do the gang sheets. We do gang sheets. 12 by 24 inches, 12 by 60 inches, and 12 by 120 inches. Really, it's like 11 and a half, 11 and a quarter by that. But yes, so 2 foot, 5 foot, and 10 foot. You can find those over on our website. Prints. We're good to go. So we're able to do that. Sun. Oh, I totally missed that. So we're good to go. Right? We argue sometimes. We don't argue. We talk. We conversate. I argue. I try not to. I see tons of people making money with DTF. Here's the thing. A lot of people say they're making money and they're not. Well, when you look at different prints, so it can be anywhere from, on the low side, $1 a square foot to print, and on the high side, $4, $5 to print, depending on where you're buying the film from, where you're buying the ink from, and how long it's taking to print. Like those L1800s that people are buying, a square foot of that, you can only get 4 to 5 of those an hour, right? 4 to 5 square feet an hour. We're able to get 40 square feet an hour. So we're 8 times faster than those. Our P600s, those put out 7 to 10. So we're 3 times faster than that. And you get none of the labor involved as far as shaking or curing, powdering, any of that stuff. So a lot of those people, like right now, there's a legit rat race at the bottom. I refuse to get into it. I went through our numbers. Here's where we needed to be in order to make money back on it. We have went through this testing phase. What did I say? We went through 100 yards, 100 meters, and we're on the second one now. So let's say 150 meters of film so far. And so, hey, that's a lot. We went through 150 meters of film. We went through 1 liter of each ink, and we went through 2 of the white so far. So, yes, we have. You have to burn through that to test, and that's just part of it. People don't realize that part of it. So back to setup, right? So let's get in the setup. There are some things that you have to do when you're building this. You have to make sure some things are right with it. There's some wires that are inside of it that need to come out. There's drain wires. There's some tubing because typically this had cartridges that slid in the back of it. If you have a Roland, like a VG, LVG, like the SP, where there's the cartridges, same concept. What they've done is they have taken that out and then they have went to the continuous ink supply system, continuous ink supply at CISS. So that is in the back. So they have these makeshift cartridges that are there, and you have to make sure that your levels are right with them, because if not, it'll drain back in. So there's some just fine tuning with it. Where's stuff at? Where's it at with it? They give you some really good instructions with some really good base to put things at. But you need to make sure that you got that. So you got to run the tubing. Even when you fill it, they're only saying, "Hey, fill a quarter of the full just in case everything leaks. You don't leak all your ink out." Let's figure this out. So system setup, we were up and running within 2 hours, 3. I think total. Let's say everything from the time of the build to the time that we were able to make our first print was probably 4 hours. And I had other questions, and things on how it worked and that, but it wasn't difficult at all. Now there are that have had issues out there. You've got to remember, this is a new technology. It's there's still software issues. As far as software, now it is running an Epson print driver. It's using Flexi for the rip. So it's using Flexi for a rip, and then there's the Epson print driver that runs the printer itself. So workflow. The workflow, I use Corel. Corel does not work the greatest because it needs a white channel. We tried everything we could do, and I couldn't figure it out. I talked to somebody else that has the same setup, and they're a Corel kid as well. They could not get it to work either. So Photoshop to the rescue. Now Photoshop, that was the other thing. He said, I said, I'm a Corel kid. I have Photoshop. I just don't use it. Jay said, hey, if you need me to do this, just let me know. I can remote in. I can set up an action for you. Now, if you're a Photoshop kid, you probably completely understand what that means. I had no clue. So I said, explain to me what that means. He said, basically, you're going to bring it in. We need to create a white channel for it. So we need to take the layer, a spot white color for it. So it takes that and it puts a white color on there. And pretty much the way that it's set up now for me is I bring in a piece of artwork, and I hit F11, and it just does everything it needs to do, changes it, saves it where it needs to save at. Then I need to go into my RIP software. So I need to open up the RIP software on the, what is that called? What did I just say that was called? Flexi. So I open up Flexi, I bring in the RIP software, do everything I need to do there, which really isn't a whole lot unless you're nesting things. You're setting everything in there. From there, you send. From the send, it usually saves it to a folder, and then you have to open up the driver side of it, of the printer. You open that up, you import, you hit the print, boom, boom, done. So super simple, super easy once I figured out that workflow. So if you're already using Photoshop, not a problem. You can use Photoshop, and you'll be fine with it. If you are using something else, good luck. That's what I said, because I don't know. I couldn't get Corel to work, so we have Photoshop. We're able to use that. You're more than likely going to have to get Photoshop, which I think you can get the monthly cost of it for $7-10 a month. So super inexpensive there. So okay, we've got it printing fine. Printing. As we're doing it setup, it started doing this weird reset thing. Like it would just the software would lose connection. Now I thought, hey, maybe it is the USB. The cord. That's usually my first thing of anything, or Ethernet cord, because that's how this connects up. When you purchase it, it does come. Mine did. I'm not going to speak on all of them because I do think they do, but I'm not 100% sure. But what do they come with, right? When you make your purchase. So I received my printer, I received my dryer, I received a 2 rolls of 24-inch wide film. I received 4 kilograms of the adhesive and 2 sets of ink and a laptop that came with the software. So everything came together as a bundle, and we're able to. And so you're out of the box. You're good to go with it. Now there's show special. We kind of made a package for it. You can have it all for about $15,000 for it, right? For dryer. Printer, everything's about $15,000, and that's with the 13-inch dryer. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Let's just call it 15 for good, right? Get it for better than that. Sweet, you got to do it. You got it a little more. Things are going up, man. Everybody, guess what you should do today? Raise your prices. Everybody else raising them, right? It's costing us more to produce everything. Stop the right, raise to the bottom, charge your value, raise your prices. There's your thing for today. Raise your prices. So it came set up, ready to rock, roll. With everything that you need out of the box. So it comes to the dryer. Get the dryer set up, and my dryer, the take-up reel, which is a pretty important part of it, isn't working. My other one has its own power supply, its own power wart that plugs in, and that way that's where it gets its power from. This one, it plugs into the side of the unit, and it just uses like a little wart plug that goes in there. Well, I already had it all set up. And my assumption is that something may have came loose during transit, which means I need to take everything out, flip it over, and just start make sure everything's plugged in. And then if not, from there, add power, and then start testing meter-wise to see what is going on and why I don't have power, because currently that is not working. So the way this works is your printer prints, and you saw that happening. Printer prints, and it feeds it out, right? I could probably get Corey to do it again there. Press the down arrow. You want to come talk, and I can do it. If you want to come talk, and I can do all that. So Corey's going to talk to you. She'll probably talk more about her trip. I'm going to go set this up because it's going to be too difficult for me to explain. Drop the mic. Hopefully, it still works, and then I can tell you more about
clueless. I have no instructions. So anyways, so we got all the police stuff done, and almost all of it right before we left. And right after I finally got there, the next morning, we made a little trip to Mexico, checked stuff out, so we walked across the border. So, Don, can you hear us now with the mic? Hopefully. What? Where's the button? You said the front, but I didn't see a button. See, I have to give a map to where everything is at on there, what button to where. You said on the front, and I looked on the front, and I didn't find them. Okay, so I think mic needs fixed.
What?
I don't know. Don says the mic needs fixed.
Is it fixed? There you go. Mic needs fixed. Awesome. Okay. So, yeah, said it was fixed. So, as this comes, you can see it prints out, and something's off again. I can see it. I can see it here. You can't see what I'm like that, but it's off again. So something happened when we pulled there, and this is things that we're running into today. So it prints out of here and spits it down and holds it here. The dryer is right here next to it to the right-hand side. It goes through the shaker dryer. I wonder if I can. I'm going to try and go full screen on this. Just come here. Hey, this is why I get frustrated. You on? The remote would be this would be the mic.
Oh, can you hear me right now?
Like, I just need to check. Now we'll see if it's set up here to print. We'll see how it is. Because it prints the color first. I can't hear you if you're talking to me over there, but it'll print the color first, and it comes back and does the white. And we'll see if that's lined up here, because there's two print heads with it. The CMYK print head, and then the white. See how everything's back to normal there? We good on sound? Okay. So I can't hear you. So here's what it does, is it prints through here, and then it goes through the duster. So this is where you will load your powder. From here, it runs through there, and there's a shaker down there. Just kind of bats the film, So then the film, gets all the powder knocked off of it. The next thing it does is it runs through this. And this is a dryer. And I'm going to see if I can kind of make this work. And there's heat lamp in there, temperature probe, and that's what it does. And then you get your take-up reel. So that's what this does, is this pulls everything here. That just spits it out here, but this guy pulls everything back through. And that's where, if you don't have that right, it doesn't work. How's the view? Because I can't see now. Whoop. That's better. Okay. So that's what it does. That's the long and short of it. Overall, what do you have to do? Turn that back on to be able to...
Yeah, so I just sat there and waited.
That's good. All you have to do is make it solo. All she has to do is make it solo, folks. I'll show her how to do that. If you just click on here and you go that one, and is it this one? No, it's this one. Is that one? It's one of these. One of these will do it. Well, I don't know. I gotta remember. Ooh, that's not it. Okay. We'll get out of that. So sound is back. Todd, but not you. Perfect. We can hear everything. So I do believe if I go here, then we can just make that. Nope, I can't. Kick that over there. You don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. So yes. So there is the basic setup of it. It runs through there. When that's done printing, I can't see over there, so we're going to make that crazy. Solo layout, that's all you have to do is hit solo layout, because you still hear me now. But as you can see, it runs through the printer, and then it goes to the shaker dryer, and there's the shaker part of it, and there's the beater, and then it goes right in there. So there's the overall workflow of it. Now, as far as what we have, let's get them both back in here. As far as layout, super simple, super easy. It's not a thing, but it's a pain. Like, we've had software issues. And like you saw on that one print where it moved, that's what we were running into. Where you're going through, and we're printing at a pretty good click, and it'll just go off. And so if you're not there to catch it, there's nothing you can do. I originally thought that I did something, because with two heads, you have to make sure they're aligned, because otherwise, if they're not aligned, if one's printing like 2 millimeters to the left, the white, so everything will be off there. If your heads aren't aligned perfectly when it rolls through everything, then guess what? Now it creates a blurry effect. So I went through, reset everything, and it was still doing it. Come to find, so I talked with Jay today, and Jay is who our technician is for it. And I said, hey, this is what I'm running into, man. Do you have any idea what this might be? Is there anything that we can do to make this work? Because currently we're just having, I think it's a network connectivity issue. Great point here, Keith. Yes. So there's two different ventilations. You can have the hood above it. You can have the one right on top of it, so it can vent outside. There are the air purifiers for it too, because you do need ventilation to catch the system, to catch the fumes from the system. Now, what I love to see is when people really bust balls over this, but yet they're smoking away on their stogie, and I'm like, listen, you're smoking your cancer sticks. You're worried about this. So that's a great thing with it. But yes, it does need the ventilation. I've seen people use the simple over the oven extractors, hood ventilation systems, and run that out of there, a standalone one. So there are things that you can use to run with it. Go over there and watch that, and then when it's done, turn everything off and unplug wait, never mind. I'll just turn it all off, because if I try and explain that to her, I'm going to go nuts on it. But there's software issues, man. For us, we just couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. It's set up everything is running when we do the test print on it, because after you do a setting, you do a test on it, everything is lining up to it. Vertical is that everything is lining up perfect with it. Then it goes to print, and it looks like Van Gogh got into it, and we couldn't figure it out. Well, then what I did, we went ahead and I shut everything down. Shut it down, brought it back up, and guess what? Settings are fine. Same settings, exact same print. Everything was good. just how that print did, where it went and it stopped, and then I reset the software real quick. It came back to the start of the print. It picked up and it did perfect with it. So there are software issues to be with it. Know that these things are new, right? You need to understand that there is going to be some hiccups along the way, and some of the hiccups people haven't seen before. There could be a software issue. You know, if you are not prepared to have your machine down, if you're not prepared to work on it a little yourself, probably not the smartest thing for you to do. It's just like anything. It's a machine. It can break. Things can happen. That's not the manufacturer's fault. That's not your rep's fault. That's not the technician's fault. Things just happen. Like with us. And so when I called and I left Jay a message, it was about 2:30, and about 4 o'clock. He called me back, and I said, "Hey, I got it back working. Here's what I did." Because I called him like, "Hey, have you to ask? Have you run into this?" Because I had taken pictures, and that's the other thing too. If you have an issue with something, make sure you're taking pictures or video, so that way you can show your technician what it's actually doing. That will save you so much time. If you have questions about what something is or where something goes, take a picture, bring it into your program, type out and circle and do all of that stuff so they know what you have questions about. With this, everything has been great. Technician side of it, like I said, when making that action step where I had no clue what to do. I gave Jay the information for it. He was able to log in. Boom. He set it all up for us, and then sent me an email with what I need to do, and it worked out great. So no issues there with it. It is. There's a lot of the take it real. Yes, take it real. White cord. There is some stuff there with it. Here he goes. When we first started the ion adapter, we were using this called havoc on our connection. The LAN adapter. It's having havoc on our connection. We started using a dedicated computer off the network, and everything worked great. And maybe this does have Wi-Fi on it, but it is standalone. So maybe that is an issue. But I'm like, network, is it whatever? We ran this to it, and we swapped out the Ethernet cord. It didn't have any problems. Then they started back up yesterday, and that's when I caught it. It was like, what the hell is going on? Or that's when I saw it again, and so I started changing everything, like going in, reset, started over, couldn't get it to work. Worked on it again today, and then I went ahead and put it out there and reset it. Things working great on it. Overall thoughts of it so far so good. We haven't had any issues with it. It's using the i3200 heads, so they're about $1,100 each. They're consumables. These things are not going to last forever. Remember that. Let me say that again. They are consumables. We are going to go through them. They are $1,100 each. If that frustrates you or upsets you or scares you, don't get a DTF printer. Don't get a DTG printer. Because print heads are not they're not lifeless. They have a lifespan, right? And there's so many fires it can do. You take care of it, it'll take care of you. So which brings me to maintenance. Maintenance on this is super simple compared to going for a converted one. So at the end of the day, what we do is we move the print head over, we clean off the wiper, we fill the capping station, send it home. That's it. So far, so good. Now I have heard that some people have used just distilled water, and they've separated their ink tubes so that they have their white going into a separate one, so that they can reuse it. Because you will go through a lot of white. When it comes to ink consumption, from what I have found so far in the last year of printing on the converted printers, was it's roughly a 5-to-1 ratio. So for every 5, it's probably more than that. Now that I think about it, but you go through a lot more white ink than color, because your colors like that have white's going on everything. So you're going to burn through some white ink. I don't know where the hell it was going. No, on maintenance wise. So you'd run into something, with humidity, with that. That's the other thing. Humidity can cause worlds of pain. Now we have a whole house humidifier. We replaced 2 of them now because they're not working. And so I went and grabbed a 3,000 square foot whole house humidifier, and I actually have it setting. If I bring this back up, if I add it to the the screen? Yes, I am to the screen. It's just where this little piece of cardboard is, right in the top corner. It's right on the other side there. So in the machine itself, it says for humidification between 40 and 60%. What I've seen a lot of people do that were having humidity issues is built a tent around it. So basically, they're hanging up sheets of plastic, putting a humidifier in there, maybe a plant or two, so that way they can keep control of that humidity. Because humidity plays a big factor in this, to make sure that humidity is good to go with it. Overall, we've had good results. Granted, we've had it a week. We'll do this again in a month or so, maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line, to see everything. But for a weekend to be printing, 40 feet an hour, I think it's faster than that. When I try and do the math on it, but it says it's about 40 feet an hour. You're really able to get out to print something. If you're not printing, I'd say if you're not printing 200 square feet of it a day, it's probably not worth it for you. Because the investment on it, you're going to get about $15,000. Buy a lot of transfers for $15,000. So if printing is not your primary business, like us, we doing the DTF prints, but we also do wide format printing, decals, banners, stickers, flags. We do tons of other printing, so it made a natural fit to add this because we're offering so much. We're going through so much printed HTV. This one came in. The labor that it saves, so not having to weed and mask, is why one of the reasons we went to DTF when we first started hearing about it. What was that? 2020, the summer of 2020, is when I first started hearing about it. So, and then we got our first one there in the fall. So, if you were getting it for yourself, just if you're getting into it, remember, you want to be able to make the prints work for you. Having this much money tied up in something that you're only going to turn on every once in a while, is that an investment you want to make? I can't tell you what to do with your money. You know what's best for you, your money, your situation. But just know what you're getting yourself into, because you are putting stuff out there. You have to pay for it. So, questions, comments, concerns. Anybody got anything for me? So now's the time to answer, or you can always email us, contact us on Messenger. We didn't even do any of our stuff today. I was so stressed out earlier because I was trying to print, trying to do this. Remember, I got everything working good probably Wednesday, Thursday, and Corey's been gone this whole time. So she hasn't, today's her first opportunity with it. And so I think that she should already know these things because I've been doing them every day. My fault. When I say go do this, I think that she should. I'm an asshole. Just doing that. I'll just want it. And I shouldn't do that to her. But we'll get more communication, because with everything else, she knows, like the rolling printer, how it works. So if I explain to her how that thing works into this, it'll fall right in that and be good. Weekend, we've been great with it. Now remember, tomorrow we have Q&A with TNA, right? Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. So Q&A with TNA is tomorrow. If you have a question, we're going to answer it. Do that a couple times a month. I'll drop that information down here. It's just OurSuccessGroup.com/Q&A. Today we started up a book group, so that's fun. The book group, if you want to know more about that, you can go to OurSuccessGroup.com/OBG, our book group. I did that. If you're interested in ordering DTF transfers or seeing anything that we do, I think the easiest thing to do is you can go to our website, which is right there at the top, fatdadcd.com, fatdadcustomdesigns.com, fatdadwholesale.com. But FatDad CD is going to get you to all of our links, and that's everything. That's all of that's everything. That's our groups. That's everything. That's business page. That's everything. So you can find everything through there. Next week, I think we're going to try and do some sublimation on some doormats. I think I got those going in. We're rearranging everything down here so we can set it up to try and push more things out, because we need to get more efficient on that. But if you have questions, now's your time to answer them. If I will do my best to do it. Like I said, I think if you're not doing 200 prints, 200 square feet a day, then that's kind of, I think, the point of the commercial. You can get
ones out there, just know those converted ones that they're converted and you could end up with brick. I know that some of them are only printing 5 sheets an hour. So if you have a lot to print, it's a lot to do. With us, we have 3 P600s. They print 7 to 10 sheets an hour, so 30 sheets an hour. 20 to 30 because it always seems like we have an issue with one. So a full day of printing in us, 10 hours a day. We were there with it. It made sense. So, and the other thing was now we're able to bring the price down because we can do things faster, more efficiently. So you can definitely order through us. We'll be shipping out. By tomorrow, I plan on having all past orders caught up. Typical production time is we're shooting for 2 to 3 business days starting next week because I want to give us that time to make sure that we're good to go there. Typically on all of our stuff, we're 5 to 7 days, so we're good on that. I want to go 2 to 3 on this. And the thing is there's no bad questions to ask. I'll do my best to provide what I can to you. I've had great luck with DTF2U and Matt and Jay over there. They've a lot of good information to help me out on it. And so far, so good. If that changes, I'll be the first to tell you for it. So you guys have a great night, and we're going to see you on the next show. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here for the vlog. Don't forget, if you haven't made that too, you can always join us here, turn on like, subscribe, notifications, all that. We do a live vlog every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 Central Standard Time, only on YouTube. The Tube of You, the Play Button app. Make sure to check that out with us. Tomorrow we'll double check our numbers. We'll do our morning motivation, and we'll just give you that next thing. So you guys check in with me tomorrow morning. Until then, have a